Well, now, how did we get here? Welcome back, guys, to Bobcat Corner episode number 33. And this is obviously a special episode, and I'm very happy to be doing this one. Um, it's just really, it's amazing how this season has turned out to be for the Ohio Bobcats. And it, it's really made me happy to just see how this team has developed throughout this year. And just see all the developments, just to see all the progress being made. And again, once like I said in the live stream after the Ball State game on Friday, that I'm pleasantly surprised, but I'm really also kind of shocked still that we're already at this point, considering the fact that we lost so many players this past off season. We had like a major turnover rate of players because of transfers and stuff like that. But to see this current roster shape up the way that they have, to come together and play as a team, to finish the season 9-3, and to go 7-1 in MAC play, and to go all the way to the MAC championship game in Detroit, Michigan, this upcoming Saturday, December 7th. It's just amazing. Like I said, there's no other way for me to describe it. It's just amazing, and I'm really happy. But yeah, this is Stephen Vitt reporting as usual, and I just want to I just want to go over some stats throughout this season for both teams here that's going to be playing in the MAC championship game: the Ohio Bobcats and their opponents, the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. Now, if you recall back in mid-October, October 19th, that game did not go according to plan for the Ohio Bobcats. Of course, they lost 30-20 against the Redhawks. It was one of those games that was really easy for me to forget because although it was only a 10-point loss, it felt much more than just that. It felt much more like a blowout loss than it did 10-point loss. And I already described it in that live stream. You can go back to Bobcat Corner Live and just go through all that, especially the one after the Miami, Ohio game, where really throughout the entire game in Oxford, the Redhawks, they just controlled the pace. They dictated the terms of the game from start to finish, and it never really felt like the Bobcats got going in that game. At that time, that was our third and last loss of the regular season. The Bobcats did not have the right mentality going into that game against the Redhawks. But as you guys could tell, ever since that game, and I find it so ironic that ever since that game against the Redhawks, the Bobcats basically adopted a brand new mentality, a much better mentality, and they've been playing so much better since then. You can see it throughout the month of November. The Bobcats have been dialed in. They've been really hitting their strides. They've been really making big plays offensively, defensively, even on special teams. And it's very interesting for me to analyze this game, the MAC championship game, because, yeah, we're going to face the Redhawks again. But I have to think that we're going to have a different mentality this time going into this one. And we're going to have to if we're going to have any chance of beating the Redhawks. We cannot have the same exact mentality that we did back in October. Can't do that. We have to keep playing the way that we have in November and apply that to this game in Detroit, Michigan, Ford Field. And really, it's a neutral site. It's not a road game. It's a neutral site game, championship game for the MAC, Mid American Conference. And you just got to put it all out there. There's no other way to say it. There's no excuses. Um, no way to describe whether you win or lose. It's like, okay, whoever wins, wins. That's it. This team here. That's it. So, with that said, I want to go over the stats, the average stats that have been accumulated by both these teams, the Bobcats and the Redhawks, because I do think that's important to note going into this conference championship game. Now, this is just a compilation of stats that I've been able to gather from reading articles and going up on statistics websites. So here we go. For the Ohio Bobcats, they've been very impressive overall this year. Number one total offense in the MAC. Number one, numero uno, number one, averaging 394.3 total yards per game on offense. That's the Bobcats. And especially in the run offense, they've been the number, let me see if I got this. Yeah, number two run offense in the MAC, averaging 210.5 rushing yards per game. Big part of that has been due to the success of Anthony Tyus III, who's called Trey. Anthony Tyus III, the transfer from Northwestern, going into this season, I had no idea how productive this guy was. But seeing him play the way that I have, this year, it's just been very rewarding. It's been a very pleasant surprise. And I've just been really impressed by Anthony Tyus III. 1,069 yards for 8 touchdowns. That's overall the entire season for him as an Ohio Bobcat. This is his senior year, so unless there's some sort of eligibility thing that I'm not aware of, this is probably his last year in college football. But what a way to go out if that's the case. So, yeah, Anthony Tyus III, nothing but good things to say about him. Um, and he's got, definitely one more good game left in him here. And I'm hoping he's going to save it for Detroit. Uh, he's got to go all out. If the Bobcats are going to have a shot at winning this game, winning the MAC championship, Anthony Tyus III, he's got to be dialed in. He's got to be picking his spots to run. Big runs. We need 20, 30, 40-yard runs out of him any given play. We need those kinds of plays from him if we're going to have any shot at winning this. And not only Anthony Tyus III, but I'm also going to make this key point here. We have to utilize all of our running backs. I've said it from the very beginning. We have to use Ricky Hunt Jr. when we can. We have to use, Duncan Bruin and Nolan McCormick. Any running back that's available for us, we have to use them to provide help for Anthony Tyus III when he needs a break here and there. So we just have to be dialed in with the running game, and that also starts with the offensive line. Our offensive line has to be aware. They have to be alert. They have to be awake. So we just got to hit it. When we have the holes for the running backs to go through, they better go through those holes, which is going to be a challenge considering Miami of Ohio, which I'll get into in a minute. But going through more stats here, defensively, let's switch sides here. Defensively, the Ohio Bobcats have really turned it up, especially in the month of November. Just amazing to see the number two total defense in all of the MAC. In all of the MAC, Bobcats defense has been that effective, very effective, only allowing 305.8 total yards per game. That's total yards per game. That's the number two total defense in the MAC. And just breaking it down to rushing yards per game, the Bobcats defense has only been allowing 98.7 rushing yards per game. And get this. Now think about it however you want to think about it. Because it's the MAC, it's conference strength and stuff like that. But only allowing 98.7 rushing yards per game. That ranks as the number 11 defense in the nation. Think about that for a minute. Number 11 defense in all of the country, the nation, all of college football. Uh, only allowing 98.7 rushing yards per game. That's a sign of a great defense, guys. I don't care which conference you play in. That's a great defense. And Bobcats defense, front seven, secondary, they're all feeling it. They're all hitting their strides, and they're making big plays when they have to. I've noticed that time and time again, especially through November, that these guys, they know what they're doing. They know what they want to do. That's a great sign defensively. Bobcats have figured out what they want to do on defense. You can see it when you watch film, when you watch their games. And like I said, back in the Ball State game, back on Friday, there was never any point where the Ball State Cardinals threatened, to take momentum. That was that kind of game. It was 42-21. Bobcats just took care of business, and that's how they got here to the MAC championship game. Really, just really amazing stuff. And let's switch to the other side here because we got to talk about them. I was hoping we were going to avoid them, but obviously it didn't shake out that way. Let's talk about the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. This is a team we have to go through if we're going to get it. The Miami, Ohio Redhawks, let's pay some respect to them. They are the defending Mid American Conference champions, and they are the defending MAC champions for a reason. They know what they want to do. They're coached well by Chuck Martin, and great coaching staff, of course, and they have talented players. They always bring in talented players. The Redhawks know what they want to do, and they've been one of the main flag bearers, so to speak, of the MAC for years now. So the Redhawks stats, when it comes to stats for them, the Redhawks, their numbers, they are the number 7 offense in the MAC, total offense. They're averaging 362.3 total yards per game. And they're the number, let's see. Sometimes I have chicken scratch for writing my notes, but yeah, number 5. Number 5 passing offense in the MAC. And a big part of that is because they have a great quarterback in Brett Gabbert. Uh, Oftentimes he's been injured, but this year he's been healthy enough and he's been carrying the Redhawks to great success this year. They got off to a slow start because they had a tough schedule. They played the likes of Notre Dame. Notre Dame, they're in the college football playoff by all intents and purposes. So there's that. But Brett Gabbert, um, because of him, the Redhawks passing offense, they've been averaging 217.5 yards per game passing. And that's nothing to sneeze at. So obviously the Redhawks know exactly what they're doing with the passing game. That goes without saying. So, and also Redhawks defensively have the number 3 total defense in all of the MAC. They have the number 3 rushing defense, just rushing defense in the MAC, and they have the number 2 passing defense in the MAC. And also a key note here, it says that the Redhawks have the number 20 ranked, statistically speaking, number 20 ranked defense in all of the nation when you break down the stats and averages. So this is going to be a very much a talented, talent-filled conference championship game. Yes, you say what you want about the MAC and the quality, but these two teams coming in, they're no joke. Bobcats are no joke. Redhawks are no joke. They know what they're doing. Both of these teams know what they're doing, and it's going to be a fun matchup. And a part of me doesn't know what to expect this upcoming Saturday. A part of me has no idea what's going to happen. I may have some sort of idea what may happen, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I don't really know. And you can break down all the stats, you can break down all the averages you want, but when the game is played, it's played. And I've been I've been going through this the entire season talking about, well, we have to be in the right mentality, we have to have the right attitude. You know, I said that especially with games like the one against Kentucky where it was like total, you know, that is what it is. So, but yeah, the month of November, the Ohio Bobcats have been really playing well, and you're getting into December. You got just 2 games to go, with one of them being the MAC championship game. You got to put your best foot forward. As a player on the Bobcats and as a coach on the Bobcats, you got to put your best foot forward. You got to pull out all the stops. No more excuses. Really, this is it. No more excuses. This is your real big opportunity, guys, to get your first conference championship since 1968. That's 56 years, guys. And I want to just take this time out to just say this: if any Bobcats, players or coaches are watching this. As always, I don't know who's watching this, but I'm just going to say it because I have a few minutes to share my thoughts. Ohio Bobcats, just put it all out there. Just give it everything you got, guys. No more excuses. Whatever you're going to game plan for, just game plan for. Just give it your best shot. Put it all on the line on Saturday, December 7th in Detroit on Ford Field. Who cares what the Miami Ohio Redhawks are thinking? They are the only team that we got to get through in order to get that championship. And whatever we got to do, we got to do. Okay, I'm not gonna make this complex. I'm not gonna make this difficult for anybody to understand here. It's just one game. That's it. One game between us and that championship trophy for the MAC. It's been 56 years in the making, and we gotta find a way to just get the job done, seal the deal, get the job done. And I'm hoping you guys, regular viewers out there, if you're just watching this, I encourage you to share this with the Ohio Bobcats. Guys, I've been watching football my entire life, and I'm seeing some of the best football from a team that I want to follow. Some of the best football I've seen in a long time. And that's saying something. And I can't be any more proud and happy for you guys. But I'm also saying this, you got one more game to go, including the bowl game later on. But you have one more game to go, the MAC championship. You got to put it all out there. You know, any any fumble you got to recover, any tipped pass that you got to make the play on and get an interception, any holes you got to hit for a big running play, or bomb it deep, for a wide receiver to catch. Even on special teams, if you see an opening for a punt return or kick return, you got to take it. You can't be conservative in times like this. Put it all out there, guys. Just go all out. Give the Redhawks everything, and I mean everything you got. This is it. This is it. And if you guys are able to do this, and I believe you guys can, listen to me, Bobcats. You guys can do this. Just beat Miami of Ohio. Get it done. For Athens, Ohio, for Southeastern Ohio, for everyone who lives in the foothills of the Appalachia. Get it done. Ohio Bobcats, get it done. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think about this MAC championship game in the comment section below. It's been an interesting journey for me this year covering this team, and I'm just hoping for a happy ending. I'm hoping for a good ending here to this season. Uh, it would make such a difference if we were able to get this done. You can only imagine how happy I would be if I come here for the live stream on Saturday night, December 7th, and we get it done. I'd be so happy. Man, I want to get that. I want to get that trophy. I want to get that championship banner. So, yeah, this is Stephen Vitt reporting. Go Bobcats as usual. Take care.